Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about topic the trends and emerging practices for stakeholder management. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management or you are planning to give exam or PMP in near future. So let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you. And also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. So basically friend, today's topic is that trends and emerging practices for stakeholder management. Now we have to understand the stakeholder is a person who has a positive or negative interest in a project. Okay, so that is why he is called as stakeholder. Stakeholder management means that you are managing the expectations or requirements of the stakeholder whenever you are managing a project. Now stakeholder management, you can understand now the question, and now the topic is that the trends and emerging practices. Trends and emerging practices means friend that nowadays the project management is evolving or changing as per the requirement or as per the time. There are changes are coming means that whatever the trends or new practices are there. For example, now we are moving from traditional project management to we can say somehow the evolving project management, or changing the concept or changing the approach of project management. So whenever we are managing the stakeholders, we must have to consider that what are the new trends, what are the emerging practices for stakeholder management. So what are those trends or what are the emerging practices what we must have to consider whenever we are managing the stakeholder. So first first trend is basically identify all stakeholder. That means whenever you are starting the project, it is remember clearly that you must have to identify your all stakeholder. That means it is not necessary that you must have to consider only the, for example, C level persons in the project, for example CEO, CDO. You must have to consider the all stakeholders, positive or negative, which are who are involving in your project, who are engaged in your project, who have some interest in project. Either they are very high level, either they are mid level, or either they are low level. You must have to consider, you must have to identify all stakeholders. Then ensure that all team members are involved in the stakeholder engagement activities. So as a project manager, you must have to ensure that whatever the meetings are conducting, all stakeholders, all team members are involving, they are attending the team, they are attending the meetings, they are basically engaged from all levels in the project, in the stakeholder. For example, if you have a meeting with the functional management, so you must have to ensure that from your side, from the vendor side or project side, from the vendor side, the functional management should also be involved. Okay, so all team members should be involved in the stakeholder engagement. Next is the review the stakeholder community regularly, often in parallel with reviews of individual project risks. So why it is necessary? Because if there is any risk in the project, it should be identified. So that is why stakeholder community must be reviewed regularly. Then consulting with the stakeholders who are most affected by the work or outcome of the project. Here friend, remember one thing, that like it is true that the stakeholder who are, for example, C level, CEO, CTO, like project sponsors, who have greater effect, or you can say most effective in the project. You must have to consult with those stakeholders as well. Why? Because see friend, like project sponsors are those stakeholders who are basically decision makers. Like if those stakeholders who are effective in your project, you must have um, you must have a close relationship with them, you must have the good relationship with them, because if they are in favor of you, if they are in favor of project, so definitely it will have a good effect on your project, or they will be helpful in the successful delivery of a project. So it is important to always consult with the effective stakeholders who are effectively engaged, who are effective in the project, like CEO, CTO, project sponsors, functional managers. So it is very important to engage, it is very important to consult with those stakeholders who are effective, who are like influence, who are having a greater influence in the project. Then next is the capturing the value of effective stakeholder engagement, both positive or negative. Here remember friend, we must have to consider, either we know that few stakeholders are positive and few stakeholders are negative. Positive means that the stakeholder who want that your project should be completed successfully, so that is why we call them as a positive stakeholders. And negative stakeholders are those who don't want that your project should be successful. Why? Because for example, if the project successfully implemented, so they would have some loss in the project. Like for example, if you are implementing ABC project, and after the implementation of ABC project, the XYZ product will be removed from the organization. So that is why they are not interested, they are negative stakeholders, they don't want that your project should be implemented. So basically this is the concept of positive or negative stakeholder here. Now as a project manager, you must have to capture the value of effective stakeholder engagement. That means you must have to see that what is the value you are getting in terms, like whatever you are meeting, you are conducting the meetings, you are having the phone conference calls, you are engaging the stakeholders from customer side, from vendor side. So you must have to measure, you must have to capture the value, what actually you are getting from all those things. Okay, either you are getting the required value or not. If you are not getting the required value, you must have to take some corrective action. That why you must have to analyze that why you are not getting the required value. First of all, you must have some process, some procedure through which you can get the value of stakeholder engagement. And if it is not as per the requirement, you must have to take the corrective action here. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video.